Have you ever found yourself in yet another relationship where your partner seems distant, emotionally unavailable, or downright avoidant? It's almost like you have a magnet for this type of person, and no matter how much you try to do things differently, you keep ending up in the same frustrating situation. Sound familiar? You're not alone. Today, we're going to explore the real reason you keep attracting avoidant partners, and spoiler alert, it's not because there's something wrong with you. By the end of this video, you'll have a clearer understanding of what's really going on and, more importantly, how to break free from this pattern. Let's start with some hard truths. If you're consistently drawn to avoidant partners, it's often because of the interplay between their attachment style and your own. Many people who attract avoidance lean toward anxious attachment, which creates a cycle that feels both familiar and magnetic. Anxious attachers crave connection and validation, while avoidants tend to pull back when intimacy deepens. This push-pull dynamic can feel frustrating on the surface, but deep down, it might also feel strangely comfortable, like something you've known for a long time. Here's the deeper truth. The partners we're drawn to often mirror something about our early experiences. If you grew up in an environment where love felt inconsistent, where you had to work hard for affection, or where you experienced emotional unpredictability, this dynamic might feel normal to you. Attracting avoidance isn't random. It's often tied to unresolved patterns from your past. The good news? Once you're aware of this, you can start making conscious choices to shift the pattern. Let's be real. There's something undeniably intoxicating about avoidant relationships. The highs are so high that they almost make the lows bearable. When an avoidant partner finally gives you their attention or opens up just a little, it can feel like winning the emotional lottery. But this emotional roller coaster is part of what keeps you stuck. Your brain becomes wired to chase the highs, making it harder to recognize that the overall dynamic might not be healthy or sustainable. Avoidants often give just enough to keep you invested, but not enough to truly meet your emotional needs. This intermittent reinforcement, where you're rewarded inconsistently, can make you feel like if you just try harder or wait longer, things will change. But the truth is, this dynamic isn't about how much effort you put in. It's about understanding why you're drawn to it in the first place. Before we go any further, let's clear something up. Attracting avoidance doesn't mean you're broken or destined for unhealthy relationships. It simply means there's something within you that's seeking resolution. Often, this pattern is tied to childhood experiences where love felt conditional or hard to access. If you had to earn love as a child, it's no surprise that you might find yourself in relationships where you're constantly trying to prove your worth or chase after someone's affection. But here's the empowering part. Recognizing this pattern is the first step toward breaking it. When you start to understand that your attraction to avoidance isn't about them, but about what's unresolved within you, you can begin to shift your focus inward. Instead of trying to change your partner or fix the relationship, you can start to heal the parts of yourself that are drawn to this dynamic in the first place. Breaking the pattern of attracting avoidance isn't about avoiding relationships altogether or swearing off love. It's about changing the way you show up in relationships. The first step is cultivating self-awareness. Take a moment to reflect on your past relationships and look for common themes. What were you drawn to? What felt familiar? And most importantly, how did those relationships make you feel over time? The next step is learning to meet your own emotional needs. When you rely solely on a partner to validate you or make you feel secure, you're more likely to tolerate unhealthy dynamics. But when you start to give yourself the love, care, and reassurance you've been seeking externally, you become less dependent on others for your emotional stability. This doesn't mean you won't want connection. It just means you won't settle for relationships that leave you feeling unfulfilled. Finally, it's about raising your standards. When you're clear about what you truly want and need in a relationship, you're less likely to be drawn to partners who can't meet you there. This might feel uncomfortable at first, especially if you've spent years chasing after love that feels hard to get. But trust me, The more you prioritize your own emotional health, the easier it becomes to attract partners who value and respect you. The real reason you keep attracting avoidance isn't about luck, fate, or something being wrong with you. It's about unresolved patterns that are asking to be healed. By becoming aware of these dynamics, meeting your own emotional needs, and setting higher standards for the relationships you want, you can break free from this cycle and create the kind of love you deserve. For more insights and practical tools, check out my books on attachment and relationships. Links are in the description below. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share your experiences in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts.